Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series as we are here at the Paperclip Martinsville Speedway, and we are ready for 90 laps of short track action. Carl, we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, we just got done with some racing not too far down the East Coast here at the Charlotte Roval, and it definitely got a little bit rough and a little bit bumpy, but nothing like short track racing.
Yeah, it's always great to get some great racing out here, and excuse the overlay. It should say Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. Pit Road Speed Limit Racing at Martinsville. So it's definitely a great track here. It's a unique track, to say the least. So you know, it's one of those tracks that can cause some issues for some drivers. You can't overdrive the corners. You have to take your time with the car, turn before you get on the gas, yada, yada, yada. There'll probably be some downshifting tonight, but looking forward to it. The drivers have, well, they're out there qualifying at the moment, or they should be. Not everybody's qualified, but 17 of the 23 drivers have qualified, 24 drivers have qualified. And right now your provisional pole sitter is going to be the likes of Harry Krantz, as he has the best time out there so far with a 18.9. We're going to be out here for, I think it's 90 laps. So it should go by here fairly quickly. But Harry Krantz, Eli Quinn, Matthew Hake, Josh Duncan, Dylan Jacobs for your top 5. Tiffany Ellis up there in the top 10. NP number 6, Thomas O'Connor, Dylan Emerson, Joshua Smith, Austin Smith, Cody Brewer, Michael Garcia, Kyle Emerson, TJ Hanley, Jay Monin, Cody Handler, Bruce Spencer are the drivers that have qualified. Kent Bice, Charlie Stafford, Kelly Akron, which was the fastest car on the track here when I came in here, and Will O'Connor and Richard Covington still not qualified. But we have some pre-race activities that need to be brought up here tonight, so we'll go ahead and get those out of the way with the start of the anthems.
Glorious and free.
national anthems for United States and Canada. And now we're going to go ahead and bring in our third member of the booth. It's not going to be my son Colton tonight because we got somebody else special that's going to be coming in here tonight, and that is going to be Lucas Handler, as he has a birthday today. So I want to wish Lucas a happy birthday, turning 7 here today, and he's got a little something to say to these drivers here tonight.
Have a good.
All right, thank you, Lucas and Cody. Wish you luck out there tonight. We'll let you get to it and get this race underway.
Sounds good. Thank you. I'm going to need it.
That is the driver of the number 19, Cody Handler, as we got our start your engines here tonight. It's time to get this 90-lap race underway for the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series. Hopefully, these drivers will be at full speed and not at pit road speed out there on the track too much tonight. But short track racing here, Jimmy, and the paperclip here of Martinsville. This is not exactly an easy track to move around here.
No, track position is very important here tonight. Tires are important here tonight. Cautions are more than likely going to happen. Obviously, 90 laps, not a long time out here, to be honest. You're looking at a 30-minute race if 35-minute race if they stay green. But I would imagine a caution here and there. It is it's one of those tracks where you need a lot more patience than you think. It's very flat in the corner, so the paperclip, not only is it short, it's flat, so there's no banking to kind of help these cars rotate. So you got to brake, and you have to let that car rotate. When the nose of the car gets around to almost the direction you need to go, that is when you can excel with your throttle with a reasonable force. You do too fast, like a light switch, you'll find yourself going around and causing a pretty good incident or pack up here. But we're gonna see some two wide racing. I'm sure the drivers will get friendly with the outside walls here tonight, and a few drivers maybe drop into the back here early on, and that's fine. And we're gonna go ahead and everybody's going to be shifting around, but Harry Krantz will lead them off the way here tonight, and that's a very important position here early on for the number 11.
Yeah, it can be two groove track here, but typically you want to be down there on that concrete patch for sure. That's where you're going to get the most grip around this track, and it's kind of funny, the exact opposite type of track compared to Martinsville here. You would think of as super speedways, but the exact same word applies, and that is patience. And it's like Jimmy said, on super speedways, you need to have patience when it comes to making your way through the field and just waiting and letting the race kind of play out. But here tonight, not necessarily that you need to wait for the race to play out, but you need to wait for that car to rotate through the corner, and there's a lot of time off throttle mid corner until that thing rotates around and until you're ready to go, because you get on a little bit too soon, you can be pushing right out towards that outside wall, and you get on a little bit too hard, you could be snapping that back end around as well. But we'll see what these next gens and these drivers have in store for us, because pace car lights are going to be out, going to be pulling into the pits, and we're about to get this thing underway.
Yeah, one more time around here, and you can just see how short it is. As you can see, turn 4 from turn 1 with pretty good ease here. You can see the cars lining up, the different patches of pavement out there really come into play here with some of the grip and stuff for some of the drivers. So they'll be fighting that, but we're getting ready to get this thing going as Barney has the green flag in the air. Here they come at turn number 4 for another race here with the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing at Martinsville.
Green flag out, and the drivers head down to turn number 1. They're not on the gas for too long before that brake pedal is applied, and you got to get that thing woed down here pretty quickly. But a good battle here for the lead already, as we do have Matthew Hake trying to hold on the outside, but it is going to be losing my mouse here. There we go. It is going to be Harry Krantz, but looks like we are going to have a spin already. The 72 of Eli L. Quinn started up there at the front of this field is going to be our first caution, just loses it by himself here in turn at number 2. And we'll take a look at it here one more time. And I think it's just maybe cold tires. No, maybe a little bit of help from the 5 of Dylan Jacobs, sending that number 72 around.
Yeah, and the 5 had the inside line there, and obviously the 72 probably wanted to kind of come down and close that door, was already not clear. So the 72 goes around and slides up the track just a little bit. No damage to the 72, just loses some time on the track. So live to fight another battle here for sure. And obviously with the speed, should be able to get back up to the front. It is a pretty difficult track to kind of work your way through. So pit strategy has something to do with it here. You know, hopefully they practice their pit stops here. I'm sure the drivers will want to take advantage of, caution pit stops, vice green flag pit stops. So obviously it's super early here on lap number 4, and the drivers up front will not want to give up those positions here this early on. But maybe somebody in the back might be thinking like, all right, let me, it's only been 4 laps, maybe take a splash of fuel. It's a little bit longer that I could stay out, because if you're out and everybody goes into pits, you go around them a couple times, they come out, and the caution comes out. Next thing you know, you got everybody trapped a lap down or so. So some of those options are out there, and a lot of drivers might take those options here early on. But Harry Krantz will lead the way here over Matthew Hake. Dylan Jacobs and that number 5 Kellogg's machine will be in Pete number 3. Thomas O'Connor back there in the number 18 in 4th, with Josh Duncan following back the spot in 7th. The 6 of Dylan Emerson is up there tonight. Cody Brewer in the 7. Tiffany Ellis in the number 88 in 8th place at the moment. 9th place is Austin Smith. Top 10, Kyle Emerson.
Yeah, this is a difficult place to pit, and not in the sense of pit road is difficult. It's kind of, what Jimmy just mentioned. You lose so much time here when you come in under green flag conditions. You're going down a couple laps by coming into the pits under green. But caution this early. Tires are going to mean a lot here tonight. You will see the difference between new tires and old tires, but in the same case, track position means so much more. Now, where it gets interesting is you may see something tonight that you don't typically see anywhere else, and that is drivers purposefully giving up a position. The outside is definitely not where you want to be. You want to be on that inside line, especially on these restarts here, because it can be a freight train on the inside. If you can't get down to the inside, you're going to lose several positions. No matter how fast you are, no matter how good you are, you need to get down to that bottom lane. So you could very well see drivers, that are maybe going to come out in 2nd place out of the pit stop, maybe miss the exit here a little bit, or just slow up a little bit, and let the 3rd or 2nd place go by, and come out in 3rd, as we're gonna have another caution here. Looks like the 60 of Kyle Emerson losing it in the back of the field.
Yeah, you see them kind of go around there and get that number 60 Coca-Cola machine loose and into the inside wall here on lap number 8, and already on lap number 8, and I say already on lap 8, we've had 2 cautions. The caution flags are not that super long here, and go ahead and I'll slow this down just kind of see what happened to the 60, and just kind of getting out there, and you can see getting on the gas a little too hard, brings that rear end right around, and obviously good heads up driving by the rest of the field, as the 60 does try to get it slowed down, but inevitable, the wall is his fate. Bounces off the wall there a little bit, but keeps it down there, and everybody behind misses the 60 going around. So great job by the drivers here. Now, Carl, I know this is not something that, I'm sure the drivers were prepared for the cautions here tonight at Martinsville. It can be a caution fest. That's a given. We've seen, I could count on one hand how many green flag races I've seen at Martinsville. Very slim to none.
I don't know if I can count on one finger how many races I've seen.
I've
been at Martinsville, unfortunately.
Fortunately, I've actually been part of one in an official, which was the rarest thing ever. We had a great 60 lap, 70 lap race or whatever it was, and we went green from start to finish, and about pooped my pants because it was just that kind of race. But either way, the things that you could take out of this: one, learn how to brake your car and get through the corner, and racing close next to your competitors But wreck avoidance. I mean, obviously, those wrecks are going to happen over and over again. A good chance to make those help, kind of get out there how to, avoid a wreck and get around it, slowing the car up, maneuvering the car. So there's some things you can take out of it. Not that's what you want to learn tonight, wreck avoidance, because everybody's kind of going around. But that's what, you can take out of it. So not every bad race is you should be able to learn something from every race. If you can learn at least one thing from every race, you're doing yourself progress here on iRacing. So, but right now it is still going to be Harry Krantz. But this time now, Dylan Jacobs on the outside. So some cars kind of making their way up there, but obviously a lot of drivers like to, like Carl said, defend that bottom, sometimes give up that position. But when you're making your way forward, you're not really thinking about being on the inside or outside. You're just worried about positions. But that inside position, if the inside line if they stay nose to tail, typically the outside line will fall behind. But you can make it work out here. You just need to learn how to drive the car to its limits on that outside line to defend and maybe even pass here. But inside is preferred. But the pace car is in the inside as far as it can be. Barney in the air, the green flag waving. Dylan Jacobs does get a fantastic start on the outside, so got the lead a little bit, but overdrove turn number 1. It's going to go wide. That allows the 11 to take the lead back.
Yeah, almost too good of a jump there. Luckily, he didn't get a black flag on that one, but it looks like he had a chance there to get down to the bottom, and now the 13 covers it off. So Hake to the inside here. Does Jacobs try and get aggressive to get to the bottom? Still not able to get down there, so he's shuffled now back to 4th position. I hear a car maybe bouncing off the wall, but no caution flag here, as looks like maybe Will O'Connor. Yep, it is going to be a caution flag after all. Looks like Will O'Connor, Kelly Akron getting involved in this one, so we'll the cars back up here. We'll see what happened here. And wow, I mean, that one, not sure if that was a money shift or not by the 28, but definitely Stafford snapped and broke loose there pretty quickly in the corner. And then you see some attempts at wreck avoidance. Unfortunately, eventually it ended up in the 20 and trying to see where Will O'Connor is. The 24 getting involved. You see right there, the 24 spinning out, the 0, nowhere to go.
Yeah, and Kelly Akron getting involved here at the end, but you can see the 24 when he came off that inside apron, that bump there just sent this next gen car around, so unable to ride the hop here. But some damage here for some cars here early on. Obviously, probably want to get down and get them fixed. We'll see. We'll pull up the tower, see if anybody's got a meatball. No meatball. Just flying here. Carl, this is one of those tracks you can, as long as the car has some power and you can turn, it's not like a huge threat to have this perfect car here at Martinsville.
No, it's a short track. You're not really worried about any kind of drafting or anything like that. As long as the damage doesn't hurt your handling, that's really all that matters. If it's scuffed up a little bit, if you get a bumper knocked in, you got a back end knocked in, whatever, it doesn't really matter. The damage isn't going to hurt you unless it's more towards the the front wheels. If it's to one side or the other, it can hurt your handling, and that's really what you need to be concerned about the entire night here tonight is the handling, keeping that bottom, because you've seen right there. I mean the 5 got a fantastic restart, but unfortunately could not get down to the bottom. Fell all the way back to 4th. Was luckily able to get just back to 3rd before the caution came out here, and that's going to allow him to restart on the inside. And again, that's where it gets kind of interesting. Even during the race, I mentioned about drivers, kind of checking up and letting somebody pass you on the exit of pit lane to make sure that you're on the inside line. I've even been out there in the race thinking, what, I can maybe move from 5th to 4th here. I can get by this guy. But do I really want to? Because if a caution comes out and all of a sudden I'm starting in 4th, I could be going from 4th all the way back to 8th before I can try and work my way back to 5th. So it gets to be a little bit of a mind game amongst yourself in a chess match. But either way, we're going to get another restart here. The 11 of Harry Krantz, your control car here. Once again, we hit the restart zone, and we are back to racing here at Martinsville.
Bad shift in the back. As they didn't even get a chance to cross the start-finish line. That was Team TJ Hanley and Cody Handler getting involved in this one here. And we'll go back and see what happened to TJ Hay as they coming out of the corner here, Carl, trying to get things started, and just yeah, right there you see on the outside spinning the tires, getting into the 19. Nothing a 19 could do, but obviously damage has already been done as the 8 was trying to get a good jump. And you know, when you're back in the field, obviously a little ways, you got to have exercise, some patience. You know, it's almost like a super speedway when it comes to these short tracks, Carl. But especially for the starts, and everybody knows you want to get a good start, and you want to hold your position, being on that outside. But if you're on the outside, you know that more than likely the inside line's gonna go by. Hopefully, you can hold it off long enough, and a spot will open up where you can drop down. So just finding that spot, that opening, and not getting too excited in order to, you know, kind of get into a small gap, especially that early on. So, you know, I'm going to continue to say it, and I'll say it all night long, but patience is your best friend here, even on restarts. If you're not in the lead and trying to grab, you know, trying to get out there, you know, within the first couple rows, if you're in the back, just chill, man. I mean, just especially if you're on that outside. Yeah, I know everybody wants to get up there, but if you get a few laps in, this field will spread out, and you will be able to move through the field if you are faster. But you know, unfortunate for the 8 there, it's burning up the tires, provides some damage to the birthday boy's dad's car, the number 19. So hopefully
that was gonna be my comment. I mean, yeah. I wonder, could Lucas have avoided that incident there and gotten away if he was behind the wheel?
Maybe. maybe get some tips and tricks from the 7-year-old.
Once again, happy birthday out there to Lucas Handler, son of the driver of the 19, and hopefully Cody can get that thing back rolling and moving towards the front of this field for a little birthday wish, I'm sure, for Lucas. But either way, we got him doubled up here. The pace car lights are out. It's time to get him back to racing here. Hopefully, they shook off some of these cobwebs early, and we can get to some racing action here as pace car is off. Time to go racing here again at Martinsville, and regardless, the laps are still ticking by. We are already on lap number 24, so getting close to already a third of the way through this race, but I haven't really seen too much green flag racing. I think maybe 3 laps maybe total up to this point, as Harry Krantz is your leader, Dylan Emerson, Thomas O'Connor, Josh Duncan, and Cody Brewer for your top 5. They get Dylan Jacobs, Matthew Hake, Michael Garcia, Tiffany Ellis, and Austin Smith for your top 10, as we're going to have another issue here heading into the corner, and that was a big incident there from the 0, I think it was, hitting the inside wall, and then Will O'Connor getting taken out as well.
Yeah, the 0, obviously a little bumping him, shoulder rubbing, but the 0 tagging the 24 just a little bit sooner, maybe the 24 braking sooner than the 0 expected, ends up tagging the 0 of Richard Covington Jr., sends that car around here early on, and able to kind of keep it up on the wall. So nobody else involved here with that instance besides those 2, but another meeting of the cars as they, you know, trying to get around this track. It is so difficult, Carl. It's like, you know, if you're not a professional and you don't know how to kind of like really get into these corners and where the braking points are, and if you're kind of hesitant about how much brake pressure you're putting on, just, you know, prior to this incident, we were riding on board with Cody Handler, you know, and as he was coming up to the corner, I seen smoke flying as I was watching the forward camera on top of the roof. It was, you know, that to me already says there's something going on up there when smoke's flying, and more than likely somebody overdrove the corner, so somebody's going to be high already instantaneously. You know, so there's a lot of things kind of going through your head. These drivers are able to kind of still stay out there. It's lap 28 of 90. Things are going a little rough for parts of this pack. But Harry Krantz is your leader over Dylan Emerson, Thomas O'Connor, Josh Duncan, Cody Brewer for your top 5.
I want to thank everybody out there for tuning in tonight. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, as is the second half of our doubleheader here on Wednesday nights. Already got done with CSRL's preseason race at the Charlotte Roval, as they're going to be starting off their new season next week with some multi-class racing. But here tonight, it's at the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series, as take a look at the standings again. It's just anytime I want to, I need to actually do it before I say something, because anytime I want to do something, it seems like the mouse just all of a sudden doesn't want to work. But anyway, the standings coming in to tonight have all been reset, because this is the first race of the round of 12 for the playoffs. So a big one for a lot of these playoff drivers to try and lock themselves in to the next round. So as crazy as Martinsville can be, and as scary as it can be a place where maybe you sneak away a win here and move yourself on. I mean, right now, Harry Crunch is your leader. He is one of the playoff drivers coming in tonight, as Dylan Emerson came in with the most bonus points. He came in 1 point ahead of TJ Hanley. And they got Dylan Jacobs, Richard Covington, Thomas O'Connor, Harry Krantz, Kyle Emerson, Tiffany Ellis, Cody Brewer, William O'Connor, Matthew Hake, and Cody Handler are your 12 playoff drivers here for the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. As we got tonight, next week is going to be Michigan, and then the following week, wrapping up the round of 12 and March, is going to be Kentucky on March 25th. So that's your 3 races here in the round of 12. Back to racing here, as the 11 going to get back on the loud pedal here in the restart zone, and we are back to green. But for how long is the question. Hopefully these drivers can get something going here, get a nice little green flag run, and we'll see what these drivers can do. And really, it could get interesting, because the more racing that we have under caution, the more cautions that we get here, the more question is, when do you have to sacrifice that track position that you have to come into the pits and get maybe the fuel that you need to get to the end, or do they actually have enough fuel to make it to the end? I mean, 90 laps seems like a lot, but here at Martinsville, it's really not that much, as we're going to have another caution here, as I'm not sure if that was the 88. We got a parking lot here, as the 12 spins it back around here. That's Cody Brewer getting it back going, and nobody's going to walk away with a meatball on this one, but we definitely had a parking lot there in turns 3 and 4. We'll take a look back and see what brought this one out.
And it's back, I think, did involve the 8. No, it's the 88, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yep. 88 there, getting into the back of the 12. Sending him around. Tried to maybe straighten him out there, but just a little bit too far on the inside here. And then the 64 tried to sneak on by, gets a little piece of him, but doesn't look like any kind of damage. Unfortunately, that little bump right there sent the 12 back the other way and caused the parking lot there in turns 3 and 4. But we do see some more cars coming into pit lane. So at this point, we've had about maybe half the field come in and make their pit stops. But Harry Krantz, Dylan Emerson, Josh Duncan, Thomas O'Connor, Michael Garcia, let's see, Josh Smith, Jay Monin and Josh Smith are the cars that have yet to touch pit road. So can they make it all the way through on 90 is really the question. Or, some of these cars coming in right now, like on lap 33, we're past a third of the way through this race. I know we have that much green flag running in it, but you never know when the green all of a sudden stays out for a while. And if you got those new tires, like some of the cars just came in right now, it could pay off big dividends.
I mean, now's a good number. Maybe they're looking at 60 laps for to end this thing, and that's they have less than that remaining. We're on lap 35 and 90. Obviously single file. Probably go double file here this time by, and get this thing ready to get back. I gotta step away 1 second. Be right back.
Harry Krantz has led this thing from the start here so far, and it certainly helps out when you have the pole position here and can dictate all these restarts, as he is the control car here. Wants to get back to the restart zone again. Dylan Emerson's going to be on the outside row for this restart, so he's going to be looking to either get a fantastic jump and be able to work around the number 11, or somehow find a way down to the inside to get inside the 77 there of Josh Duncan, who is labeled as a 7 on his car. But we're back to racing here at Martinsville. A slight little gap there to the inside. The 6 is going to be able to fill that spot and slide right down into second, as the 11 back out to the lead. Side-by-side racing back there for 4th position. Looks like Thomas O'Connor is going to be pushed out to the outside, but we're going to have another caution. This time, looks like Tiffany Ellis and Richard Covington are going to get together.
Yeah, the caution obviously continue to fly here, but go back in the back here, see what happened. As another couple drivers getting together, and maybe a late break there and a money shift, downshift brings that rear end around here.
So we got another caution flag here, and another chance to kind of think about it. Can they make it to the end with caution laps flying left and right here tonight? We still have yet to see our top 5 come into the pits, and then same thing with Jay Monin and Joshua Smith. So be interesting to see if they try and ride this thing out, as we're getting close to the halfway point. Should be right about the halfway point when we get this thing back to a green flag here. So I mean, you see some of these drivers down there at the bottom. Not sure if they're trying to pick up some extra rubber down there, if they're maybe trying to go the short way around. Now maybe that's why right there. Cody Handler getting back on to the lead lap with the lucky dog, and that's going to put 18 cars on the lead lap. Will O'Connor, Richard Covington Jr., Tiffany Ellis, all down at least a lap here, as Tiffany Ellis still in pit lane. I don't know if she had a black flag or not, but still in pit lane right now with the 88. So this is not the start of the playoffs that she wanted to have, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on her for Michigan and for Kentucky to either have 2 great points finishes, or maybe put her in a must-win to move on.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard. Obviously, you start off on a difficult track like this, and you have to survive it, and just kind of just find yourself, in a good run, and just maybe a little harder than brakes. I can't emphasize enough how difficult it is to kind of get these cars to slow down, and a lot of drivers probably are shifting here tonight. I would not doubt that in any way, shape, or form. There's a lot more shifting in these cars than some of the others, but find yourself shifting before the RPMs come down, or the speed comes down, so you can match the RPMs, will basically act like a rear brake, and it throws the rear end around, just like if you're in a bicycle and you slam on the brakes, the rear end comes around. So that's what we're seeing here for some of these drivers, just trying to avoid an incident, but ends up causing one. So here we are again, going to get started as the green flag is in the air. Harry Krantz will continue to lead here as he gets them started down into turn number 1.
Good restart again for the 11. This time the 6 not able to drop down right away, but now he will be able to, as he gets a good run through the corner, and he's going to stay ahead of Josh Duncan. Battle back here just outside the top 5, and I hear some more cars sliding sideways. Going to be another yellow. I see the 28 going a little bit slow. Not sure if it was just a quick yellow there by iRacing or not. We'll take a look back and see what may have happened here. And the 28 again, just kind of losing it by himself.
Yeah, it's the rear end going around. I don't think he got tapped by the 33, but going to go sideways. Gets the assist to get that nose point around. A few drivers sneaking by there as that incident happens, and able to avoid that wreck. But they do keep it rolling, so everything should be good to go, and we'll be back to green here shortly. Laps are ticking away, though, as we hit the lap 44 of 90.
Well, while we are coming up on the halfway point, and we're under another caution here, we're going to go ahead and step aside. Maybe it'll help out the Juju here, and see if we can get some green flag racing. But we'll step aside here for a moment and give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
A little love to hear it.
Sights and sounds here of the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series here at Martinsville Speedway, and unfortunately tonight is a typical Martinsville night. It is a track that very few times will you see a race have a lot of green flag running, no matter what cars. I mean, I've been here in the Mazda MX-5s, and it was a caution fest. It doesn't matter the speed, it doesn't matter the talent of the drivers. It's just the nature of the beast here at Martinsville, and unfortunately, we're seeing it be quite beastly. And like Barney may end up filing for workers' comp after this thing. His arm may be a little tired, maybe a little tennis elbow from waving the yellow flag here tonight. But either way, we're going to look for another green flag here coming soon. One thing we haven't seen yet, that is your 2 leaders coming into pit lane. The 11 of Harry Krantz, the 6 of Dylan Emerson, yet to touch pit road. And you can say the same thing for Joshua Smith as well. So I'm thinking that they may have been saving here from the beginning, from the rip. They thought this thing might be a caution fest. And so far it's playing out that way, and they're not wanting to give a track position for nothing. Back to the restart zone, back on the loud pedal, back to racing here in Michigan, or at Martinsville. Oh, I'm so sorry for calling it Michigan. That is a travesty to Michigan. I'm already looking forward to next week, Jimmy. Does that count?
It does count. And Carl, I mean, obviously there's quick spurts of great racing here. They just can't get in their groove in order to get this thing kind of settled down and run it here. And we've seen a lot of drivers trying to make up some time in the corners and trying to get it sent down there and outbrake their competitors. But, then the car washes up and it hits the car on the outside, and that's where we're getting the little tags to kind of get around. But right now, we are watching TJ Hanley trying to make a move here on the 12 of Cody Brewer, and is able to kind of get down in there now. Cody Brewer fighting on the outside. And this is the type of racing that you like to see at Martinsville, and that it can produce. So a little bit of door banging, that's common, but nice move and pass there by TJ Hanley here to move him into P number 6. So 8 trying to move his way forward with some damage on that car. You can tell you don't need a
pass
perfect
for lead
car
as well,
here.
Jimmy.
Oh, and a pass for the lead.
Battle for the lead side by side here.
Oh, battle for the lead as the 11 Harry Krantz finally feeling some pressure, and maybe hasn't lost it yet, but now these 2 drivers have to work to get things done. The 6 can't overdrive, the 11 can't underdrive, but it's just going to let the go as a caution flag flies again, this time for the likes of Richard Covington Jr. and the number 21 back towards the back of the field. So we'll see what happened to that 0 machine. And yeah,
lost it. A little too goosey with the throttle coming out of the corner is going to send him around. And I know the problem, at least for Richard Covington and the 88's getting involved in some incidents here tonight. You notice right now they're back in 18th and 19th. You notice what's not on their cars? Lightning McQueen paint schemes. And certainly it worked out great for Richard Covington early in the season. It worked out great for Tiffany Ellis last week. Not so much this week, as looks like Tiffany may be getting the lucky dog here. Let's move back around as we got 2 cars on the outside. I'm not sure if 2 cars are getting the lucky dog here. Okay. Don't see that ever, unless somebody was just getting the wave around here. But either way, maybe they were kind of caught up and they had to pass the pace car. But Dylan Emerson was able to pass Harry Krantz in that little bit of a run, and that is huge for the 6, because that puts him in the catbird seat. He's able to control these restarts, and there's not going to be too many more restarts no matter what, even if this thing goes to overtime. We're getting close to the end here, already starting lap number 74 right now, so it's 17 laps left in this race, and we're still not ready to get this thing back to green. So probably looking at 15 to go when we get these drivers fired back off, and we'll see how this thing finishes out.
I guess 7 going around one more time there. Josh Duncan, 7 on the track, 77 in your tower there. So forgot the 7 on the paint scheme, I guess. Here tonight for Josh, but out there running that purple and black machine around, and still going. So not quite sure what's on store. Is he gonna go around
Yeah, not sure if he's got the wave arounds here or not, because I don't see that that Abbott gave him wave arounds. But either way, he's working. And he wants to get back in the lead lap one way or another, whether it's going to be a black flag or not. I don't know how that works, Jimmy. Like, you know, if you don't get the wave around, but you decide, you know, say you're 3 laps down and you decide to get all 3 of them back, how much of a black flag could you possibly get? I mean,
he's got a black flag
regardless, because he does have a black flag right now, exactly. But is it like, you know, once and done, where it's just like a, you know, 40-second hold, or does it compound interest? Does it gain interest by more laps? I don't know, but either way, well, it looks like Josh Duncan did have his black flags cleared, so we're back to racing here. The 11 trying to figure out a way to get down to the bottom, but you see that 60 of Kyle Emerson sticking his nose in there, trying to hold him up, and now the 11 does have an avenue to get back down, but he doesn't get down quick enough, or maybe he just wants to stand on the outside. Maybe it's rotating better for him out there, but now he's going to lose that spot. But maybe that worked out nicely, because now he got to restart in 3rd, because we're back under caution here. Looks like Cody Handler, Kelly Ackrian involved in this one.
And that could have been his plan all along on this one, Carl. To be honest, it's very hard to start on the outside here at Martinsville. Probably one of the toughest, you know, and you've seen some good battling where the outside can defend for just a little while. The 19 almost going down the wrong pit road there. But you know, it's a very tough place to kind of be. But Dylan Emerson up here in the lead right now. Kyle Emerson, it's showing him is P number 2, so no jockeying around. So maybe, oh, but no, Harry Crowns will be in 3rd. Yeah, that's right. He did let the 60 go by.
That's exactly what we wanted.
Yep. So
love it when a plan comes together.
Love it when the plan comes together. And the yellow flag was for the likes of Cody Handler this time.
Yeah, Cody Handler, and I think Kelly Ackren involved in this one as well.
No,
64 again, 64 a little bit too deep. Michael Garcia.
Oh!
And then again, Kelly Ackren just nowhere to go, stays on the high side and gets involved in this one. Just not catching a break here tonight. We'll see if the break here for the 11 will pay off here, as we're going to be under 10 laps to go when we get this thing back under green flag. It's going to be interesting, because now he is on the inside. Can Kyle Emerson do anything on that outside? Dylan Emerson on the front row. So we got a little brotherly battle here at the front of the field, as the 7/77 still working to get back on the lead lap here, and not too far from it. Was down several laps, but now I believe only down 2 laps here to the field, as he's working his way back around to 2 or 3 laps. So he may be able to get all the way back here and at least be able to battle for some positions before this thing is over. And definitely needs to.
That's the most green flag we've seen somebody run, Carl.
Yeah, exactly. He's out there hot lapping it right now. But Josh Duncan, unfortunately, did not make the playoffs here. He's not one of the playoff 12, and it looks like they're going to wall him up here, because we're going to get this thing back under green next time by. They're doubled up here, so he's still going to be, looks like 2 laps down, I believe. But Dylan Emerson, Kyle Emerson on the front row, Harry Krantz, Matthew Hake in row number 2, Austin Smith, TJ Hanley, Cody Brewer, Eli O'Quinn, Charlie Stafford, and Dylan Jacobs for your top 10 out of the corner. And when we get back to the line, it's going to be 9 laps to go, as drivers back on the loud pedal.
Back on the loud pedal this time for Dylan Emerson down the inside. You see the 11 tucked in right behind him, and a little shot there by the 64 into the 20 into turn 1 brings out yet another caution here, as Michael Garcia jumps to the pits.
We'll take a look here, and you see just kind of yo-yoing here, and the 19 getting to the back of 64. 64 gives a big shot there.
Yeah, 19 of Cody Handler was kind of involved in that one as well. So you can see all over the back of the 64 at the start here is we'll go ahead and slow this down here and kind of go to the nose of the number 19 here. I'll speed it up here and down into turn 1, and you can see coming up on the 64, just a tap, but it's enough to kind of get that car kind of riled up. And obviously now the 19 trying to slow down. not getting slowed down enough, ends up shooting the 64 out to the outside, and the 20 into the 20, and those two cars go around here on the restart. So Carl, obviously down underneath 10 laps to go here on a short track. You know, you talk about it's time to go. Well, it was kind of a time to survive. Is the
we didn't realize it was go time from lap number 2, but unfortunately, that's what can happen here. And it's Martinsville. It's short track racing. It's unfortunately, again, it's what happens here at this track. There's a reason that in core we avoid it like the plague. It is literally a blacklisted track that we don't go to no matter what series is involved. And again, I don't care if it was the Pontiac Solstice, one of the slowest cars on the service coming here to this track. I would not want to go here. It is just it very very puts on a good show, and it very rarely leaves these leaves the drivers feeling happy about the race. I mean, certainly Harry Krantz, Dylan Emerson probably feeling pretty nice right now being up at the front, but I'm sure the rest of the drivers have been involved in one thing or another throughout this race. But either way, we're down now to 5 laps to go. Pace car lights are out. It's going to be 4 laps to go when we get this green flag. We'll see if there's a last green flag that we see here tonight, and then we can see the white and the checkered after that, or if we'll see another yellow send us into overtime.
Yeah, and you know, if you have a drama-free league and you would like to cause some drama, just run Martinsville. It's just in the racer's blood, man. You want to get by. Look how tight these drivers are here as they're too wide here on this very tight paperclip corner and how flat it is. We're going to get under the start here. They're all buckled up here. They're looking for that start to get the jump, a little bumping back and forth. And that just kind of expands all the way back towards the back here. But they go down into turn number 1. The 6 is able to get out there. 11 is trying to get a run. 60 trying to fall in here as the laps are about to disappear here as we're down to 4 laps to go. But I think it was the 72 going for a ride there, bringing out another caution here with only 3 laps to go. That will go ahead and bring us into our first official green-white checker of the night. And we'll go ahead and catch let's see what happened to Eli Quinn here. I believe it was him on the yellow flag. Yeah, it was right there, just a snap.
Locking up going in.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's the lock or the downshift. I did hear drivers downshift in Carl, and if you downshift too soon, it's too much rear braking, and I guarantee you will send the rear around, no matter the car you're in. It could be in a GT3, it could be an LMP2, GTP. It doesn't matter the car. If you downshift, that's too much rear braking. The rear end will come around, especially when you're trying to input some sort of turning. It happens when you're going straight, and let alone when you got a little bit of input shifting the car's weight around here. So 72 going for a ride here late in the race, going to lose some spots. You know, a shame there by the number 72 as he did start up in P number 3. Actually P2, if I'm not mistaken. And now I'm all the way back in 9th. Dylan Emerson is your leader here in the number 6 over the 11 of Harry Krantz. Started on the pole. Kyle Emerson up 10 spots, so it's your biggest mover of the race. So good job on the 60. We did see the 60 kind of involved in a race, sitting in a great spot right now as well in that 3rd spot for a green-white checker. Can we make it to the green-white checker is the question. You know, it's only 3 measly little short laps, but a lot usually happens between the 1st and the 2nd lap. We'll see if they can bring out that white flag once they get done with these caution flags. 4th place is going to be in Matthew Hake, losing a spot here. Austin Smith up 5 spots. TJ Hanley has managed to claw his way through the field, reach up there into the tops 5, 6. And then you got Dylan Jacobs in there in the 5, Cody Brewer, Thomas O'Connor, and Eli Quinn for your top 10. Charlie Stafford up there in 11th, Will O'Connor, Richard Covington Jr., Bruce Spencer, Kelly Ackert, Josh Duncan, Tiffany Ellis back in 17th, and Joshua Smith in 18th. Rest of the field, Cody Handler, Michael Garcia, Jay Moore, and Kent Weiss that didn't race tonight.
It's the restart zone here, and green-white checker attempt number 1 of 2 underway. The 6 dictating the pace here out front, gets a good restart here. The 11 trying to figure out what to do here, and he's going to get caught up in a wreck. late in the race. He was up front all night long, and now he's turned around backwards, and the field is certainly jumbled up here. And the 11 is going to go from leading majority of this race to being at the back of the pack. You see right here, the 13 of Matthew Hake gets to the inside of the 60 and up into the 11. And what a turn of events here for the progressive number 11 here tonight. Going to go to the back of the pack. Looks like a couple meatball flags as well, with Richard Covington Jr., Harry Krantz, and Cody Brewer all getting a meatball flag on this one. Late race. Just the big one here at Martinsville. I mean, a lot of cars involved in this one, and a lot of damage to some of these cars as well. We're only going to have one more restart here on the race, no matter what, because we're coming to our second green-white checkered here, and it is Dylan Emerson joined by Eli O'Quinn now at the front. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because on the last restart there, it was still your leaders, the 6 and the 11, and they both had yet to pit this entire night. So not really any kind of a tire advantage, clearly, for either car. But now you got Eli O'Quinn, pit on lap number 33 here tonight. I know we haven't had that much green flag running, but the tires still wear a little bit. You still have some green flag, mixed in here and there. He's got some fresh tires from lap number 33. How much could that play a part here on this restart? Can he get a good enough restart to be able to work around that 6 with only 2 laps remaining in this race?
I want to say no, but with his, as cool as they were able to keep the tires, I don't think like the percentage of tire is as important as how hot they are here at the moment, and they haven't been able to really warm these tires up, Carl. So I believe the 6 of Dylan Emerson is in still great shape for trying to pull away the victory here tonight. Obviously he's gonna lead them down. He's got to get the start. This is the last of the green-white checkers. So it's whatever it is from this point. So he needs to get a great start, hit his marks early on, and try to get a good finish. So Dylan Emerson leads over Eli Quinn. Thomas O'Connor sitting there in 3rd. Will O'Connor in 4th. Bruce Spencer in 5th. Then your Charlie Stafford, Joshua Smith, Kyle Emerson, Dylan Jacobs for your top 10. And here we go.
Last restart of the night here in the 72, kind of lagging back here a little bit. He's got to catch up to the side of the 6 there. Back to the restart zone, back to racing here at Martinsville. And the 72 was, I think, a little bit too far back, not ready for that one. So the 18 is going to dive to the inside. Thomas O'Connor now in 2nd place. He's got new tires from lap number 49, but we're not going to see him get put to use. Yellow flag going to come out, and that is going to do it here for tonight. Dylan Emerson is going to win this thing under yellow. It's been quite some time, Jimmy, since we've seen any race on CRN end under yellow, but I gotta say I'm not surprised it happened here at Martinsville.
Yeah, and obviously unfortunate for some of the drivers that got involved here on the final one as it came out. I think it was caused there by Charlie Stafford, maybe possibly. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that here. Just in the back here. Let's see what happened. Well, I thought it was on the 77 more. Nope. Right there, the 43 getting into the 77 or 7. And that's what kind of caused it right there. But 28 kind of gets wrapped up involved there. 43 able to go low. Nowhere for some of these cars to kind of get involved there. Charlie Stafford's going to go to the wall in the number 28 along with the 77. You see the 60 and the 5 all kind of getting involved there. Back there with the 8 of TJ Hanley, because he's going to get involved there as well. Again, with a 13 of Matthew Hake. 0 net codes coming along. Tiffany Ellis trying to navigate through the spinning cars of chaos here at Martinsville. And ends up getting to the 76 and the 0. Sensors sideways. 19 getting collected. 11 is just was like, well, don't know what else to do. I'll just lock up the brakes there. So yeah, fairly sized decent wreck here at the end as they were trying to finish, and rightfully so. Everybody's trying to get the great finish here that they would like to have. But gonna have to give that shout out here to the 6 of Dylan Emerson here tonight. Go ahead and bring up those results on the screen for all the fans of the show. And if I haven't said it already, thanks for everybody for coming to an eventful Martinsville, as it can be a very dangerous and challenging track for drivers for sure. And they find themselves under some cautions here tonight. But Dylan Emerson will walk away your winner here over Thomas O'Connor. Eli Quinn will be P number 3, and we'll talk to those drivers here shortly. Will O'Connor, Bruce Spencer, Kyle Emerson, Joshua Swift, Matthew Hake, Richard Covington Jr., and Cody Hamler are your top 10. And 11th, you're going to have Dylan Jacobs, TJ Hanley finishing back in 12th. Tiffany Ellis crawls back up to 13th. Harry Krantz back in 14th after leading 90% of this race. Kelly Akron in 15th. Josh Duncan in 16th. Charlie Stafford in 17th. 18th is going to be Cody Brewer. And then the back of the rest of the field here. You're going to have 19th, Austin Smith. 20th, Michael Garcia. Jay Monan finishes at 21st. And shout out to Kent Weiss for showing up here tonight, but not running. So just, it's one of those tracks, short track racing at its finest. Martinsville, Carl, one in the books.
Yeah, I guess the best thing you can say about tonight's race is it's over. We don't have to worry about it anymore this season, and we can move on. We got a beautiful track of Michigan coming up next week, and we'll see what the drivers have to do out there. But we're gonna get our top 3 here in for their interviews. Just gotta drag one down here manually, and. Third place tonight, Jimmy, is going to go to the 72 of Eli Quinn.
Oh, hey, how we doing?
Hey, Eli, Jimmy and Carl in the booth. Well, we get a chance to get, to talk to you here. Obviously, you started on the front row and then found yourself in a little bit of trouble. We're able to kind of work your way back up through the field, through the cautions and the pit stops here and there. So I want to congratulate you on that. But kind of give us a rundown on what it was kind of like out there. I know it's one of those tracks, so it's very frustrating.
To be completely honest, I did a practice race that we did I think 3 days ago, and that was the first time I've driven this track on the next gen car. So I really wasn't sure what to expect. But we came out, we had a good qualifying session. Really didn't expect second, but I'm very glad to get there. And then fortunately we got Sen coming out of 2 on lap 3. But after that, it kind of just turned into a hornet's nest, unfortunately. A whole lot of bobbing and weaving, but I'm just happy we ended up with the top 5. I think we had top 5 speed, but I'm kind of hurt for the 11 car, honestly. I think he had the best car by far the whole night. Really heartbreaking for him. I think he was probably the best car at Pocono too, and he ended up not finishing, I think, in the top 10 in that one too. So hearts out to him. Maybe one of these will go his way. But aside from that, it's just one of those hornet's nest races. That's just Martinsville for you, though.
Yeah, you were able to survive the first round here at Martinsville. Obviously it's not every time I see the track of the schedule, I kind of just shiver a little bit knowing that how challenging it is on the iRacing service because of the uniqueness of how much speed you can kind of get down them straightaways and how much braking you need and the patience you need through the corner, and it's very easy to overdrive, but you're able to drive it correctly here tonight, get yourself a podium finish. So we want to say congratulations from us up here in the booth and from all the fans out there, and give you some time for any shouts you might have in at number 72.
Just shout out to Spectrum for sponsoring my glorious Kane Carson Hocevar. And shout out to Trevor Bain. That's about it.
We really appreciate the shout outs, man. And look forward to seeing you next week. Maybe a slightly better run or end results, maybe some better results at Michigan. So, but until next time, we'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Is your third place finisher here tonight, the 72 of Eli O'Quinn. A good start for him, good finish. Just pay no attention to everything that happened in the middle as he had to work his way back up there. But either way, finished on the podium. Second place here tonight is going to go to the 18 of Thomas O'Connor. Thomas, you had your car in the right spot at the right time. You kind of had to work these cautions, but you were one of the many people that decided to come into the pits, and I think that was kind of the big strategy here tonight. When do you give up track position? Do you give up track position? I mean, our winner here tonight didn't pit one time. So, what were your thoughts going through this race and thinking, do I come in? Do I take tires? Now maybe I'll wait one more caution.
Well, I did not pit on my own merit. I was driven through going into turn 1 and 2, and all I see was a red car just plow through the entire field and took me out. And so, unfortunately, I had to take tires because the car was damaged. It was not. I was very heated about it. But the caution 500 was good. I'd have to give props to George, our pace car driver. He did a very good job keeping us in line all day long, all night long, I should say. But it's a good finish. It was hard to work through the field. I mean, it just the checkups you had to kind of control, prepare for that. Overall, this race is fun. I enjoy Martinsville. I just think, we just got to go back and practice a lot more with everybody. Everyone kept their cool for the most part. Definitely some stuff we got to work on. But hey, I got P2, so those points are going to be very valuable going into these next 2 races to the next round. So just got to really focus on Michigan next week and get some actual playoff points.
Well, it certainly was an effort to get yourself back to the top 3 here tonight. So either way, it's a good point salvaging night here tonight for just points in general. So congrats on finishing up here on the podium. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, every time. It's been a long time since I've been in one of these interviews, so I got to shout out you guys every week and week out. You guys do an amazing job. I can't forget that Josh Smith is praising your guys' graphics on this broadcast tonight. They think it's fantastic. I've seen a little bit, but just so far looking at this broadcast, they look amazing. So I heard one of you guys got a new computer. So
we both
on that.
We both.
Oh, nice. Congratulations to both of you guys then. No wonder we've got such a great broadcast. So, I look forward to all the broadcasts going forward to all the teams. But, this league's going well. These playoffs, this was a rough race to start off on Martinsville. So hopefully we can do that. But I got to thank my friends and family, my buddy Vince. I got to shout out him. He's, I think, first-time viewer tonight. So I got to shout out him. But thank you guys, family, whole league. Everybody did a great job. We look forward to going next week. So thank you guys.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you guys are going to be driving around as slow as you were here tonight, we got to at least make sure the cars look nice and crystal clear for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. I saw my car.
There's no blur from you guys racing fast, so we have to make sure it looks good.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you guys for whoever donated to get those new computers. Thank you, because it looked great tonight.
Well, we appreciate that. And once again, congrats on your second place finish here tonight. We'll see if we can get a chance to talk to you after Michigan as well.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully on top now. Have a good night, guys.
You too, buddy. That's your second place finisher here tonight, the 18 of Thomas O'Connor. Top spot here tonight is going to go to the 6 of Dylan Emerson.
Dylan, Jimmy, and Carl up in the booth. You copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. I got you both.
Well, it's one of those nights here that you kind of cringe when you see the schedule. It's in the playoffs. You're like, what are we doing? I call it the drama track. Carl called the drama track. If you have a league that has no drama, just run Martinsville. Something's going to get fired up.
Right.
Because, everybody's out there is racing it. Everybody wants to win. And, the opportunity is there, and it's the gap closes quickly. If you're downshifting like with these cars, it'll send you around. There's so much things that go wrong. But either way, you stayed up front for the most part, pretty much all night and working your way. And you were finally able to get underneath the 11 and work that 6 into the lead. And that's pretty much all she wrote. No pit stops here for the 6. Was that, did you guys still have plenty of fuel, or were you starting to kind of gauge like, oh, maybe I should have went in kind of a lot earlier?
Actually, I think 30 laps in, I think there was caution at 30 or 33. I was like, I should probably pit. And I was like, I'll wait till we get towards the end of the window. But then when we got to the first green white checkered, Cody with a C asked, and I was like, I still got 15 laps left. We're still good.
Well, it's amazing how much fuel you all saved not being able to get on the throttle for the majority of the night. And obviously the tires held out fairly well for you. So, I mean, you did what you needed to do. You kept your position. You held everything together. You kind of got through some of the melee, even up front, as there was some bobbling going around up there. But we want to say congratulations for most off, man. And also, I want to get your side of the story of kind of like how it was out there. And besides the fuel, you already said maybe I should pit kind of around the lap 30, but what was kind of going through your head and how you go about this? Obviously thinking more towards the champion aspect, because next week you guys move from something totally different from this abolishment of a track to somewhere like Michigan.
Yeah, before the race started, I was like, all right, let's gauge the points and where I'm at, because I'm probably not going to win this one. I didn't feel fast enough to win this one. So I was kind of looking at the points. I'm like, all right, like a top 10 day will survive me to Michigan. Like, Michigan's a way better track, a lot more fun, more of a driver track than hey, let's stomp on the gas, let's stomp on the brake. Hey, it's caution. Let's wash, rinse, repeat for the Wreckfest 500. And I was just like, we'll just take it what track gives me. And then moved up a spot on a caution, moved up another spot on a caution. I was like, oh, maybe we can get a top 3 here if we keep this up. And then Harry should have won this race, but he made the one mistake that allowed me to get underneath him and take the lead. I was like, I think this is in my control as long as I don't make a mistake like he just did. Should be my race. And thankfully it went that way.
Yeah, you guys had some when you did finally get to the inside. He did put up a nice little fight there at the outside, a great little battle there until you were able to kind of come out on top. And this very small green flag sprints that you all had here tonight. So, I want to say congratulations on being able to identify that one mistake, because that's what it takes here at this place at Martinsville, and just kind of. You're waiting for that next driver to make a mistake, because that inside was super valuable here tonight. So congratulations on your choices and getting that car to the front here, and congratulations on the win. We want to give you some time, though, before we let you get out of here for any chance you might have it at number 6.
Thank you, guys. I want to shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast each week. It's really nice. We enjoy it a lot. I want to shout out Tiffany for doing all my paint schemes with her Maximum Edge graphics. Tiffany Ellis does it. She does a great job. Did the one that won tonight. Did a really good Wage War one that I run in the O'Reilly series that we have. If you ever need any paint schemes, I would go to her. They're always A+. That's all I got.
We really appreciate the shout outs. Again, congratulations. Yeah, if you have you need any other graphics needs for any livery, hit up Tiffany Ellis. Definitely, I've had some questions, and I've shared my comments about how much I liked her paint scheme. So does a fantastic job each and every week, no matter where she's at and what she's driving, or if somebody asks for her assistance to put something on their car. So yeah, definitely a good shout out to her. But for you, Dylan, I want to say congratulations on your victory, and we'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Yes, sir.
That is your winner here tonight, the 6 of Dylan Emerson. And we say all the time, look fast, go fast. And certainly Tiffany Ellis's paint schemes have enjoyed victory lane here quite a bit this season. That's going to do it here. I want to thank our sponsors here tonight, Icy Hot for Barney, because he's certainly going to need to ice it down. I want to thank Henry County Orthopedic Surgeons, because Barney may need some surgery after this one from waving the green flag. Not the green flag too much, the yellow flag a little bit too much. And Virginia Slings and Things, because he's probably going to have to put his arm in a sling after this one. But either way, I mean, listen, as we said, Martinsville is just, it's a brutal track, and it doesn't matter how good you are, how bad you are. It doesn't matter what car you're in. More often than not, this is unfortunately what it delivers. It's just a very rough track to put on. It's a paper clip, and it feels like you're racing on a paper clip. And You need to get down to that inside line to make any kind of passes. Unless you have a major tire advantage over somebody else, you're not going to pass them on the outside. So, the diving down to the inside happens a lot. And then when you're trying to get aggressive, especially because of all the cautions, you're getting on that brakes a little bit later, a little bit harder. You're locking them up. You're getting into somebody, and cautions breed cautions. It happens. So we'll watch this one, watch this one away, crumble it up, throw it away. But certainly Dylan Emerson doesn't mind because he has locked himself into the round of 8 and doesn't need to worry about Michigan or Kentucky, but that's what we're worried about. We're worried about getting to a track that really matters, and that is Michigan is coming up next week, 65 laps. Looking forward to that one already. I mean, you already heard me call Martinsville, Michigan tonight because I'm not much looking forward to it. So hopefully everyone out there in Sierra Nation is looking forward to it as well. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We got Virtual Velocity Racing coming up tomorrow night, but for myself and Jimmy from the Virginia Dump, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.